Director sir, uh, Ashok, Savita, members of the family, members of the entire faculty who are there, Professor N.K. Arora, thank you very much for being here. And the whole, the residents, nursing staff, technical staff, I think we all welcome you here on this momentous occasion, which is really the time of superannuation of Professor Deorari. He finishes a career, a very illustrious career at the Institute, spanning almost 5 decades. And it's been my fortune, that I've worked with him alongside with him for the last 4 decades at least in pediatrics. And we have seen, how he has led the department to new heights. Having worked with him for the last almost 4 decades, I would just like to talk or mention 3 aspects that I think, singularly put him out, compared to other faculty members. The first is really, and I'm sure others have spoken about it before, is his intense devotion towards education. I think that's one thing that's really his hallmark. And if I look back when I was a resident and I was working as a resident or as a senior resident, we used to have those blood gases lectures, Ashok, that he used to discuss with us. Excellent blood gas reports and all that, and this finally grew bigger. A lot of work was done in education, particularly in neonatology, and later on involving the whole department. We know that the neonatal website, the neonatology website, has got such a large number of hits. It's perhaps the most unique website in the world. Again, in many ways, thanks to Ashok and his colleagues, who have worked with him. And e-education again has been something that he has been extremely fond of. And we have all been, at times, drilled into us, that tum log nahi karte, baki, look at what we are doing, and which is so, and he really tries to motivate many of us to be able to pursue this path. So education has been one hallmark. The other thing, that I have admired a lot is his diligence and unflinching loyalty to the institute and to the department. Whatever work that's been given to him, he has done it to the best of his ability. Whether you look at, obviously, I'm not even talking about neonatology. Neonatology is now one of the best departments of neonatology in this region. Not even India, maybe the teaching program, the MD, the DM program, the way it's grown up to be, it's clearly a very major program. So that's clearly one aspect. But in pediatrics, at the institute level, doing these neonatal workshops, when I was growing with him, when we were faculty, he used to kind of go every weekend across the country for these trainer workshops, where they would go and teach neonatal resuscitation. And we are seeing where we are, based on all that work that has been done. Subsequently, in the last few years, he's been in charge of the SET facility, the chairperson of the SET facility. And all those who are aware, do know of his singular contributions towards, the growth of the SET facility, towards the quality initiative programs that he has helped launch, at the institute, even outside the institute, and many other things. He's obviously been helping the other aims at the other than Delhi, particularly Kalyani, where he's the chairperson of the selection committee, and so on. So there are lots of things to say. In the last 2 years, we have seen a different facet of him as he has worked with the director and the whole institute for COVID care, and both at the institute level and at a national level. So clearly, a lot of work has been done over the last few years by him. And finally, I think he's been one of the perfect leaders that the department has had. The Department of Pediatrics, the way we see it today, owes a lot to its leadership, and if you look back towards Dr. Taneja, Professor Ghai, Dr. Mehirban Singh, Veena Kalra, Dr. Seth, Vinod Paul, and now Ashok, he has really carried the legacy forward. And I think he's been somebody, who's been a very decisive leader to have, somebody, whom you can go and speak to. He's not afraid of speaking out his mind when he thinks that something is going wrong. But on the very next day, he's as good as anybody else, So I think he's got a very clear heart, and I can say that with full conviction, because many of us share these attributes with him, and very often we discuss, कि हाँ हम भी ये सोचते हैं कि ऐसे करना चाहिए था. So obviously extremely empathetic towards his colleagues, reaching out whenever required. So Ashok, you have really been a decisive and a very excellent leader that we have had, and we hope that we can really emulate what you have done for us. So on behalf of the whole department, we thank you. We congratulate you on an excellent innings. Wish you all the very best for future. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.